Yeah, if a person doesn't have, if they can't treat another person with dignity and respect, if they do not have that attitude of cooperation, like, it will not work. Like, you cannot have a relationship, a friendship, and work for somebody who is pulling on the opposite side of the rope as you. Like, if that's their personality, if it's kind of just this idea of, like, the whole Highlander mentality of like there can be only one. Like, if they have to win, then there is no relationship. And unfortunately, for a lot of us that are tangled up with these people, that's kind of the difference between like a relationship and a manipulationship. Because a relationship is based on relations, right? Like the relational value, the give and take between two people. A manipulationship is based on manipulation. It's one person lying and deceiving and spinning and withholding and doing all of these things and relying on intimidation and charm and guilt and pity and love and hope and religion and the kids and all of these things in order to get what they want. That's not a relationship, that's a manipulationship. Again, relationship, it's working towards the higher, greater good of the relationship as a whole. I think I mentioned this last time, but I'm going to mention it again. There's the difference, because I hear this from a lot of people, and I'm sure that I've even said it myself, where if they've been with an emotional manipulator for any length of time, they have this idea, this attitude, or this understanding of, well, we've been through so much together. And there's a difference between going through so much with the person and being put through so much with the person. In a relationship, people go through a lot. They go through a lot together. You go through death and disease and good economies and bad economies and moving and, the highs and lows of life. You go through a lot together. In a manipulationship, it's one person putting the other person through a lot, and the other person who's continually trying to fix and forgive in the relationship. It's not an equal dynamic, and that's problematic. What's interesting is what a lot of emotional manipulators will do is, and I was talking about this in the support group earlier tonight, it's a weird way that they tend to triangulate. And because abusive people in general create this dynamic of it's me and you against the world. They don't understand. Like, they don't understand how we are or how we fight, or that this is this is how we just love each other. We're just real passionate. And, so we need to stay away from them because they just don't understand us. It's me and you against the world. What's weird though is when they have bad behavior, like lying, cheating, stealing, something that causes their partner finds out about. When they're trying to do damage control, it's like they'll triangulate their partner with their bad behavior. So they create this dynamic of, I'm not going to give up on us. I love what we have. It's worth fighting for. And then, but like they make their bad behavior, like it's like me and you against my bad behavior. Like I'm going to fight for us. We're going to work this out. I'm committed to us. But no, the reality is actually you just cheated. So no, you're not committed to us. But now you're telling me that you're willing to go to all these great lengths to stay in this relationship, and like you're making your bad behavior like the outsider here. Like the bad behavior is the enemy that's going to try to keep us apart, but you're not going to let that happen. You're going to fight for us. But the reality is, if you just wouldn't have cheated, this wouldn't have been an issue. So obviously you're not that committed because your actions are saying something very different than your words are. That's very, very strange. I think another way to tell is, if you're in what kind of relationship you're in, is to ask yourself, if your child were to be in a relationship like this, what advice would you give to them? Or maybe even more telling, how would you feel about this? If you would be devastated, or if your child came home and said, I met somebody and they are just like mom, or they're just like dad, how would you feel? If you were like, that's awesome, I'm really great, I'm really glad that you met somebody that's as wonderful as your father or your mother. Or would it feel like you just got a chair kicked out from underneath you and you just think, oh my God, like and you feel powerless to stop it? That's a problem. If you're in a relationship that you wouldn't want to see somebody else that you care about in, that's a problem. And, it's worth looking at. Lots of love to you guys. You are not alone. You are not crazy, and you really can move forward and heal from this.